Huge problem now for that ubiquitous social butterfly that is, of course, Meghan Markle. As we all know, and I told you recently, the fact that, of course, Netflix decided to leave on the comments while they posted her comeback video on YouTube has not gone down well. You can understand a girl wants to be liked, right? And more importantly, nobody wants to read, well, a bigger percentage of dislikes and rather cruel comments against the few remaining likes. But that's the problem when you go on social media. And in particular, you don't necessarily get that when you work in the mainstream media. I remember talking to another co-presenter who said he actually thought he was quite well liked until he went on social media and found out exactly what allegedly the public thought of him. But what I would say in Meghan's defence is, remember, sometimes, you can't take all of these things seriously. That's not to say, of course, I don't really agree with the video that she put out, which seemingly looks to me like some kind of lifestyle video with no real sort of attachments to it. You can't honestly believe that this woman spends her time in a kitchen. Well, when she's not battling LA fires, of course, with camera crews. But here's where it gets really interesting now, because as Meghan Markle has to push her way back into the limelight, and she truly does, that's the bigger problem, you see. Well, what does she do next? And the other bigger problem is, as I told you recently as well, the issue of that thorny topic of social media, because both she and her husband, Prince Harry, famously came out and said it was toxic and shouldn't be trusted and all of those terrible things. But, that's by the by when your career's on the slide, the decline, and you need some exposure. But what's interesting, her team now are suggesting this, and apparently she's warming to the idea. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for joining me today. It is a minefield, isn't it? If you go on social media, it's very hard to work out what's real and what's not. And I don't know if you've noticed this, chum. Sorry, we'll have a quick wave. But I don't know if you've noticed this, but with AI now, what's real? They manipulate somebody, say, pictures and stories. You're not quite sure what you're reading or seeing. Is that truly the real person? Am I right? But as we know, what Meghan Markle wants to be is real and authentic, the sort of thing where you, the audience, can really connect with her, share those wonderful adventures, with love, Meghan, that sort of thing. So what's going on behind the scenes is really interesting in many respects, because when you think about it, as Meghan now realises, the way forward, having gathered over 1 million dedicated followers, is to go back to Instagram. But what's even more exciting, if you're a dedicated Miss Markle fan, they're toying with the idea of an Instagram Live to help launch the show. Absolutely. So for all of those doubters out there that said, I don't think this is going to see the light of day, this is very early discussions, but this, they believe, will counteract all the negativity. And of course, this will be hot on the success of their return back from Vancouver in Canada, all thanks to the Invictus Games. So you see how this plays out. But don't get too excited if you believe you're going to directly get at Meghan, because obviously what they will have are a lot of moderators, and they're going to need them, clearly, when you look at what they wrote on YouTube. And the idea really is that Meghan will cherry pick certain questions, and you'll be able to put questions in advance, which she will answer live and probably reference your name. A lot of big stars do this, particularly with beauty brands and pop stars, so it makes you feel like you're connected, you're part of it. These are desperate times and desperate measures. At this point, she may even do the unthinkable and let one of the children run in the room. I kid you not, as long as it's pictured from the back, naturally. But these are the ideas that now, in desperate straits, that they are discussing to see how on earth they can make you and I want to get connected and watch Meghan with love. Will this make you tune in? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.